It's really hard to think about that I'm just walking away and giving up. I am not a quitter. I don't like to give up on anything, and I love to follow through. And I think at these times, it's about self reflection. Who am I? Who do I want to be surrounded by? And what does the future look like? And so you may be asking yourself the same question of maybe with your career or another group that you're part of. Maybe it's a relationship. Maybe it's a friendship as well. So I want to encourage you to dive deep into who you are, who you want to become, and who you want to be surrounding yourself with. Hello, and welcome to the podcast. I'm Jenny Townsend, your host. This podcast is for doers, dreamers, and those trying to decide what's next. I, along with amazing guests, will be sharing stories of success, failure, and what's to come. Thanks for tuning in. Welcome to the Stroke It podcast. As we step into a new year, I want to talk about one of the hardest lessons in growth, letting go of people, places, and circumstances that no longer serve you. Seasons will come and they will go, and so will people. Sometimes you'll find yourself holding on to something you love, a friendship, a role, or project, even when you know it's time to move on. So recently, I actually had to do this. So I joined in on a partnership. It was my first partnership that I ever did with two women that I admire, that I think the world of, that were very much successful. And when we started this project just over 2 years ago, I was just blown away of the future vision of what we were going to be creating. And then for the past 2 years, we've created something very significant, unique, and fun as well. And I love and admire all of the women that have been part of this group and the table as well. But I've made the decision to step back gracefully and walk away from this table. And the reason being is that I'm just not aligned with one of the partners. And I don't agree with how they portray themselves, how they portray the group, myself. And at the end of the day, if we're not going to be aligned with our true values and how we conduct ourselves or how we do business, I can't be sitting at the table with that person. So it's really hard to think about that I'm just walking away and giving up. I am not a quitter. I don't like to give up on anything, and I love to follow through. And I think at these times, it's about self reflection. Who am I? Who do I want to be surrounded by? And what does the future look like? And so you may be asking yourself the same question of maybe with your career or another group that you're part of. Maybe it's a relationship. Maybe it's a friendship as well. So I want to encourage you to dive deep into who you are, who you want to become, and who you want to be surrounding yourself with. I think it's super, super important to be asking those questions. So as we enter a new year, we know who we're going to be aligning with and who we're not going to be aligning with. When you're walking away from someone or something, it can be very, very hard. It can be challenging. And you're always going to wonder if you did make the right decision or not for at least a period of time. But I am seeing that I am making the right decision because of the things that are happening, because of the conversation that I'm having now as well. And having those conversations can be super, super hard. So, for instance, like with this one individual, I really do want to go to this individual and be completely honest of why I'm leaving that table. But I also don't want to hurt their feelings. I also don't want to ruffle feathers. And there's also this inside voice inside of me that's saying loose lips sink ships. I don't know if you've ever heard of that, but that is a thing as well. So, I don't know why I fear the conflict or why I fear having that conversation. That's something I'm working towards because it's really unfortunate that I had to leave the table and come to find out a lot of other people left the table feel the same way I do about the circumstances or the person as well. So I think it takes time to process, time for reflection, for us to really, really figure out what is in our best interest and what do we want to align with. This is like the same thing that I dealt with, even with like a family member or a couple actually. I had to create boundaries when it came to having conversations and having text back and forth. So I'm sure you can think of a friend or a family member who constantly calls you and wants to dump all the baggage on you and tell you everything that's wrong, all the negativity. That can be really, really exhausting. And you probably have your own things that you're processing and struggling with as well. So to hold space for them when you don't even have space for yourself may mean that you need to create a boundary. And that boundary could be really, really simple. That boundary could be instead of talking to that person every week, it could be every 2 weeks, or it could be once a month. One of the things that I started doing was if I answered the phone, I would allow them to say, hello, this, and that. And then I would say, hey, just so you know, I only have 10 or 15 minutes today. That allows them to think about what is it that they really want to say this time that we're on the phone. Many times they just want to unload and they really actually don't care about what's going on in your life or what you have to say. They're just looking for their free therapist. So consider that time that you're spending with them could be utilized on your mental health, on you. That could be you journaling, you taking a walk. Don't let their negativity distract you from what you're wanting to achieve. And I know that this can be really hard, not only for you, but for them as well. And I would encourage you to encourage them to find a therapist or find someone that can understand what they're going through, right? I'm not always qualified to talk to people about maybe their kids or maybe their aging parent, or all can be there and I can listen, I can support. But I also may not be able to give you the right guidance that you're looking for. And so I think that redirecting that conversation could be really great, or redirecting that conversation to where it's a place for positivity, or questioning them of how are they planning on changing their lives, or how can they better serve themselves. And this happens a lot with my mom's family as well. Everyone just always calling each other to talk about the other, and then it just goes on and nobody agrees with whatever is going on. There's just a lot of space of negativity as well. So once again, you can cut down those conversations to where you have the mental capacity for yourself. With the day and age of technology and the scrolling and the emails and the work and the overschedule, where many of us could take an extra 5, 10, 15, or 20 minutes yourself, and that would really, really benefit us. I want to encourage you to get my book, The Stroke It Guide, available on Amazon and my website. The book is what you need to know from the boardroom to the bedroom. It talks about how to stroke yourself, your spouse, your partner, your friends, your family, most importantly, your employer, employees, and of course, there's a chapter just for the bedroom. Go to Amazon today and get my book, The Stroke It Guide. As you're thinking about yourself and you're thinking about the new year and who you want to be with, I want to encourage you to seek people with a positive mindset. So if you are feeling sad and depressed, maybe you want to go find a place where happy people are hanging out. So that may be a dance class, that may be a yoga class, that may be at a music school where people are creating music. It may be at an art academy as well. So go there where people are having fun, they're smiling, and they're being creative. If you're looking to level up your career, well, what's the position you're wanting? Where are you wanting to go? And is the income that you want to make in the future? So where are those people hanging out? Are they at CEO roundtables? Are they at networking events? Are they at BNIs? Are they at chamber functions? Are they going to conferences? So do some research and figure out where are those people hanging out so you can start aligning with them. Many times you can build this network completely free and in your own backyard. Doesn't mean that you have to go and travel and go and do all of these really expensive conferences. So once again, just aligning again with who you are, what you're wanting in your future, and creating the life that you want and designing it. I think that's really, really huge is by you designing your life, you're going to have more control, more say, more freedom, have more just happiness and passion in your life too. So as you're reviewing the past year and you're getting ready for the new year, review what was working, what wasn't working, who was serving you, who wasn't serving you. Did you make some changes for a better future? Whether that is also budgeting your time, budgeting your money, and the people. Some of them may have to go. And it doesn't mean forever, but it may mean for right now. So I want to encourage you to take this time for reflection and know that you may have to make some changes, but they're going to be worth it. And sooner or later, reasonings of why you're making these decisions are going to shed, and you're going to get signs that you're making the right decision as well. So for me, like walking away from that partnership, once again, it's really hard. I'm still really processing it, but I do know that there's going to be clarity and there's going to be something else that's going to take use of that time that I was setting aside for that project. And that person that was bringing me down and that was really maybe not as positive as I would want or the way they were portraying themselves, I'm going to find someone that knows who they are and the value that they bring. I'm excited to find out what that will be in the new year. So, once again, I want you to kind of think about what are some people that you can eliminate? Who can you add? Maybe there's a place as well. Like, if there's somewhere that's triggering you and that's upsetting you, stop going there. If it's about a family function and you don't like go, don't go to it. I'll give you an example. Christmas Eve for my family. This has been an episode every single year, depending on, it's like basically we're taking bets on like who's going to be the one to blow up Christmas Eve. And so after 2 years ago, I was just like, I'm not doing this again. These are not people that make me happy, that do not value time with family, that aren't actually creating time outside of Christmas to spend. And they're not the most grateful people. They show up, accept presents, expect other people to cook for them, and they even help clean. And that just drives me crazy and it upsets me. And I get so frustrated where I'm like, why am I even going to do this anymore? That is really, really upsetting to not only my mother, but to my aunt and to my grandmother. And the other ones, it doesn't really matter because they just show up and don't really contribute much many times. So I have made the decision that I'm not going to Christmas Eve at the cost of just upsetting my family. But what I have done is I've created time with the people that I genuinely have a relationship with and created time for them. So whether it's going over there on a Friday afternoon or going to dinner or going for lunch, those are the things I'm doing with the people that really, really matter. So really what I want you to focus on as well. Um, there's so many ways that you can take this information, but think about you, what's serving you and what's not. And you can make a list as well and put some things on the right and some things on the left. Whatever is right for you, whatever is not, eliminate and let it go. So I'm looking for hearing what you have to let go of this year as you enter a new year. And I want to encourage you to stay true to who you are. Find people that align with your values. Find people that align with the future and where you want to go. And just remember to stay true to yourself. Be humble, show some love, and be generous. Be generous with your time, your energy, your money if you have it. And most importantly, don't forget to be generous to yourself and make sure that you are loving yourself just as much as you're loving others. Thank you so much for tuning in today's podcast. Once again, if you felt this was valuable, you think someone could benefit from it, please I encourage you to send that to 5 of your friends. And if you loved the content, definitely give me a review, and I'm wishing you a beautiful day. Thanks for tuning in to today's podcast. I want to inspire you to send this podcast to 5 of your friends that you think would benefit.